Welcome back to the Essay Desk. This is episode 9 of our daily writing masterclass on the compulsory UPSC essay paper. Every episode, we take one topic in the aphoristic voice that Section A now favors, and we walk through the approach a top band script would follow. Today's topic is a line about the self, about freedom, and about the crowd. You will not hear a finished essay in this video. That is the paid brief. What you will learn is the craft that separates a script that scores in the low 60s from one that scores in the low 80s. The refrain to keep with you today is simple. Decode the topic. Argue one thesis. Build the dimensions. Close with a vision. The topic reads, Freedom begins where the crowd's applause ends. It is a Section A topic, abstract and reflective, in the bare aphoristic voice that UPSC has moved almost entirely to since 2020. Notice that it is not a headline and not a question. The theme family here is the self, the inner life, and moral autonomy. That family has been visited by UPSC in 2020, 2021, 2023, 2024, and 2025, which makes its heat in exam terms high. This is the single hottest family in the paper, and this is the sort of topic your preparation should be ready to walk into. Before you write a word, decode the line. Freedom, crowd, applause, ends. Each word is doing work. Freedom is not just the absence of chains, it is the presence of the self. The crowd is not a villain, it is the room every citizen lives in. Applause is the soft chain the room slips around the neck. Ends does not mean the crowd stops clapping. It means the moment when we stop needing them to. The central tension is between belonging and integrity. To belong is human. To lie in order to belong is to lose the self. A great script names this tension by the second paragraph. Now fix the thesis. A thesis is not a summary of what you will say. It is the one line that gives your essay a spine. Here is a workable one. Applause is a mold, not a mirror. Freedom begins when we choose the mirror over the mold, and every generation must earn that choice again. That is 30 words the reader can carry through 10 paragraphs. If your last line does not echo the first line's thesis, the essay has drifted. Write the thesis in the margin of your paper before you begin, and keep glancing at it. The examiner is glancing at it too. The average essay is one-dimensional. The top band script is multi-dimensional. For this topic, 6 to 9 lenses genuinely light the theme. The philosophical, the psychological, the technological, the political, the constitutional, the institutional, and the personal. Notice I did not include the ecological. Do not force lenses that do not fit. Then order them for momentum. Start with the philosophical seed. Move to how the modern mind is being trained by likes and algorithms. Then to the political history that shows the price of dissent. Then to the constitutional and institutional defenses of the dissenter. And end on the personal. Each dimension should answer the question the previous one raised. Anchors are what separate a vivid script from a vague one. Take 2, at most 3, and deploy each as evidence. In an Athenian court in 399 BCE, an old man was offered his life if he would only promise to stop asking questions. Socrates chose the cup of hemlock instead. That is not a name drop. It is a scene, and the scene proves your thesis. Second, Tagore's prayer in the 35th poem of Gitanjali, the line about the mind that is without fear and words that come from the depth of truth. That is a real attributable quotation. Use it once at the point where the philosophical dimension meets the political. Third, and this is where the topic bites into 2026, cite the research made public in 2025 by a leading American AI lab, acknowledging that language models are trained to sound confident even when they should hesitate. The applause economy has entered our machines. Do not just drop the fact. Interpret it in your next line. This is the slide that decides your ceiling. Open on a scene, never on a definition. The Athenian court is a scene. A teenager's screen glowing at 3 in the morning is a scene. A newsroom deciding whether to run the second story is a scene. The band openings are since time immemorial, in today's fast-paced world and any dictionary definition. Halfway through the essay, when your reader thinks you're about to become preachy, concede the counter view. Is not politics the art of listening to the crowd? Should the elected representative not be responsive? Give that argument its best form, then answer it. Freedom from applause is not deafness to it. Close by returning to the opening image and rewriting it with the thesis. If you opened on Socrates, close on Socrates. The last line should linger, not summarize. Here is one line you could adapt for the close, not memorize. Our applause is now algorithmic. Our crowds are portable. Our mirrors are cracked by the light of screens. The task, however, has not changed. And a republic worthy of the name is the one that keeps a small lamp burning for the citizen who has learned to hear silence without fear. Notice what that line does. It uses concrete images, algorithmic applause, portable crowds, cracked mirrors, the small lamp. It circles back to freedom and the crowd, and it ends on a citizen, not a slogan. Take the shape of that line, write your own image. To close the masterclass, 5 moves to carry into the exam hall. 1. Decode the line to a single tension. Here, belonging versus integrity. 2. Fix a thesis you can carry to the last paragraph. Here, the mirror over the mold. 3. Choose 6 to 9 lenses and order them so each answers the one before. 4. Deploy 2 or 3 real anchors as evidence, interpreted in the next line, never dropped and left. 5. Concede the counter view before you resolve it, and close by returning to the opening image. That is the shape of a top-band script. Everything else is the sentence-by-sentence discipline of Indian English. That is the masterclass for today. Preparation for this paper is a long, quiet apprenticeship, and the days you write badly are the days your writing hand is learning to be honest. Trust the practice. If you would like the full brief this Friday carries, both model essays with the examiner's margin commentary, leave your email in the comments or write to us at team@upscdesk.com. See you tomorrow.